Yo, welcome to my Season 7 playoff predictions for the NRRA. For Season 7, obviously, like I just said. This is going to be a very big season, I feel like, for this league. But there is a lot of people that can make these playoffs this year. So, first, I'm going to start with my locks. The people in this league that should win multiple races this season and get into the playoffs very easily. The first person I'm going to say myself, coming off the championship last season, I won multiple races, 4 races last season, or 5, I don't even remember. But at least in my mind, I think I'm going to be able to recreate a part of that. I should get hopefully 3 wins by the end of the season. The second guy I have on this part of the list is Soaring. Obviously, your runner-up last season. He's the guy that's making the game for us, and he's a very good racer. He should definitely be on track with me, if not even better than me this season. Me and him are kind of the top dogs right now to kind of compete with and try and beat for a championship. So that's who I got winning multiple races no matter what. Should win multiple races. Now I've got people that realistically should win a race. First, I'm going to start with Little Dave. Little Dave last season had multiple wins. I think it was 2 or 3, but those were earlier in the season. Once we got midway through the season, once me and Soaring were in D1, he struggled a lot to get wins. He did have a flash there at Martinsville in the cutoff race, but that was about it. Daytona, he did decent, but he should get a win somewhere, especially at a super speedway. Those races he could easily get a win at. The second person that should get a win in this category, the fourth person in the playoffs, I'm going to say Iron. His departure from Doge was pretty expected by the end of the season, even though he won multiple races last season. He was on 2 teams. He started the year off with TNR, won the 500, and then left to go to Doge, and then finally won 2 more race. No, 1 more race with them. So he had 3 wins on the season this year, but now he's on KJS, which I don't think he's going to do well with, especially with the competition. I don't think he's going to produce another multi-win season, but he is very capable of getting himself another win on the season. And my third person that should get a win is Rover. The only multi-time champ in the league. Very good driver. Last season was very unfortunate for him. Didn't get a single win, but I see him getting at least 1 more win this season if he is active. There have been rumors that he won't be able to race a lot this season, but he has very good potential. Obviously, the only multi-time champ. He knows how to win races. He very much should get a race win this season. So now that's 5 drivers in. I'm going to now go over guys I truly don't think will make the playoffs. The first person I'm going to say is Soviet in the 48. First season in D1, he was very mediocre in D2 last season. I just don't see him doing well enough to come close to the playoffs this season. And I'm also going to say the same thing with Xenon. I like him as a driver. I think he has the potential to be running up there, but he just hasn't been active enough. to really do anything. So I don't see him getting close to the playoffs either. And the third person I really don't think will get in there is Banan. As much as I like Banan, he just has not performed well the times I've raced with him. He's towards the back of the pack every time we're in a practice race, or even when we were at Chicago Street Course, he got lapped halfway through the race. He is not crazy fast. He's gonna have to luck into a win at Daytona or Talladega if he wants to make it into the playoffs. So now that I've got those three out of the way, it's time to go who I have making the final three spots and the couple others that I think are really good sleepers this season. So with the sixth spot in the playoffs, I'm going to give it to Tanuki. Last season, joined very, very late, came close to winning at a lot of races, was leading for a lot of laps at Indianapolis, came really close at Chicagoland, and he is decent on road courses. He understands how to drive, and he is very consistent a lot of the time. D2, if you watched anything from D2 last season, he was your runner-up in my mind, even though Dylan technically stole it at the end with the win at Homestead. Tanuki was your runner-up in that season. In the seventh playoff spot, I am going to put Kingatronics. Now, he isn't crazy consistent as a driver in my mind. He's a guy that won't go to every single race, but he'll be at a good amount of them. The problem with it is there's only a couple times where he is a top driver in the race. If you saw Bristol last season, he was not very good. But then you go look at Charlotte a couple weeks later and he wins the race. That's what I'm kind of banking on for this season. He's going to get another one of those kind of wins. He's going to get a win that was a chaotic race like Charlotte was, but he's going to be up at the front a lot of the time. It's going to be one of those races where he just randomly dominates and he's going to get into the playoffs doing it. And then my final spot in the playoffs that I am going to predict, I am going to give it to Oda. First season in D1, at least that I know of, I don't think he's going to get slumped. With what I've seen from him in D3, even him running a little bit in D2, he should make the playoffs, in my mind. I think he will be consistent enough to make the playoffs for the season. What I am most scared about is the fact that he might not be consistent enough. If you saw Phoenix, the first race I did last season, he was towards the back a lot of the race. Granted, we are on a new game than what we ran at Phoenix, but he was not great there. That's the one thing that worries me about Oda is he is not going to be consistent enough when he's at the races, and it's going to lead to him dropping out. But for my prediction, I say he's going to be up at the top enough to make that playoff spot. Now for some sleeper picks that I have in mind. The first one I'm going to say is Smile. The only reason I didn't put him in the playoffs is because he's on a part-time schedule right now. He's only racing the first 5 races of the season, which is only half of the regular season. If he doesn't re-sign with his team for the full season, he's not going to be able to make the playoffs. His win isn't going to count if he gets one. But if he signs full time with the team, I fully expect him to be in the playoffs. My second sleeper pick is actually going to be Casimir. Now, I haven't seen him race, but from what I know, he's coming from somewhere that Oda knows him. Me knowing Oda, he's either going to be not a great driver or he's going to be a pretty decent driver. And I'm banking on the side of he being on the bit better end, but I just don't know. That's why I put him in this sleeper category, because I don't know how he's going to perform. Never seen him. A third sleeper I have is going to be Blue. Now, he is someone that I've known, that I brought into the league, and he hasn't really done a lot of NASCAR stuff. But I have been training him a lot these past off season, and I think if he is consistent enough, there's a chance that he can get in off points, or maybe even luck into a win at a random track. Then my fourth and final sleeper pick is going to be Happy. He's on mobile from what I know, but he's a decent driver. When he shows up, he does pretty decent at races. So I think it's just kind of that same idea I have with Blue. If he is consistently at races, he could get in off of points. I have a strong feeling he can do it. It's just a matter of, can he stay up to date and control the mobile controls and get into the playoffs and be consistent. That's the one thing that holds him back. So there you have it. I've got me in the 14 in. I've got Soaring in. I've got Dega. I've got Rover. I've got Iron, Tanuki, Oda, and King in my playoffs for Season 7. I will definitely be reacting to this once the playoffs come to see how far off I was. But that's my prediction. And I'm going to say I'm 6 for 8. But we'll see that when we get to that time and place. But there it is. My playoff predictions, my sleepers, and who I think has zero shot in my mind to make the playoffs. So if you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe, all that, and we'll see you next time.